Hello, Michael. How you doing?
Hello, not too bad, my friend.
Yeah.
Not too bad at all.
Mate,
How about
so,
you? You doing well?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. I'm really, really happy and really glad that you actually come onto the podcast.
Of course,
And
man.
it's your first time.
Yeah.
Um, I um, I have a question for you to start off.
Start off straight off
Proceeds. Uh,
off the rip.
yeah. If you
Yeah.
were, so you're now 25, right?
25,
You're
yeah.
25. So let's say you went into a time machine,
Mm.
okay, and that time machine took you 10 years back to in the past,
Yeah.
and you were now 15. You would see your 15-year-old self.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to the 15-year-old version of Michael Uno
Yeah.
based on what he's experienced in the 10 years after?
I guess the best answer for that would be considering my shyness, I guess, back in school and how it was when I was 15. What grade is that even? What grade?
I mean, you would have been in like if you're
High
15,
school?
yeah, year 9,
Year 9, year
year
10,
9, year 10.
something like
Because
that.
year 10, you would have been turning
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have told him to be more social,
Mhm.
you know, because in this day and age, networking is the best thing for anyone,
Mhm.
to build their future life. You know, I'm just lucky that I do know a lot of people now. You know, I had to build that network afterwards, but if I was more social prior, I could have been in a whole different position to where I am now. So talk to more people and get to know more people, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I really just stuck around my circle and never branched out from that enough,
Yeah.
you know? That's the best way I can explain it. If you're more social in life, you never know where it could get you or bring you to be afterwards, you know? So that's basically it. Be more social, be out there a bit more, learn to not just be stuck on the games. I was always, bro, I was always so like, I thought about gaming 24/7. I swear, man, back when I was younger, I wish I didn't.
Yeah.
Because the best thing about life is getting to know people, and how they've come up in their life and their life story as a whole, If you are stuck on a game that is virtual and, you're speaking to some guy across the world that you don't know, and you're never going to meet, it is social, but it's not physically one-on-one speaking like we are right now, So I would say definitely, be a little bit more confident, create more conversations. Prior to school or after school, sorry, post school, I definitely did come out of my shell a lot more, and I'm the one starting the conversations now. I'm the one networking and talking and trying to get to know people because I didn't do enough of that in school, and if I did, I'd have a lot more, I guess, knowledge as well from what other people's experiences are with this or that, whatever it is going on in their life, Instead, I stuck to, my crowd that I was used to. And it's sort of, it was good. Like the friends that I had were the nicest people in the world, I loved them all and I got to know them and their stories, but there was more to it than just their stories. I wish I got to know my grade a little bit more. There's some people that I don't know in my grade that people will tell me, oh, do you remember this person? I don't remember them. I don't remember their name, who they were, where they were in the playground or anything,
Wow.
So it's sort of like, where was I? What was I doing? I wasn't making the most of school and what it could have helped me with outside of school as well, potentially. So I told my 15-year-old self, stop being a shy little beep. And go talk to some people other than the same people you've been speaking to for years.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. I truly do believe, and it's brought me out of my shell now to make up for the time I've lost getting to know people with the profession that I'm in now. I get to meet people from all walks of life, all ages, everything. Doing personal training and being a coach, right? I get to know what, Julia from that Who is Creation, or I get to know Betty, who's 60 years old, what her perspective on life is now.
Mhm.
I have the best job where every day's different.
Mhm.
Sometimes my clients tell me stories that are insane that I never knew would have happened ever in life. Um, People can say personal training is the most social job you can have, in the whole entire world. Because every hour you're training a different person, different client, different person with a different nationality, different background, different age, and different advice to the person before them, or and you soak that in, you take that in, and you create your own, you know, makeup from what they've said. You become your own person. Um, and personal training has literally made me realize what the world is like, you know, um, through good and bad stories, So
It's really interesting
yeah, yeah.
that you
So
see that you've learned all these things throughout. I guess when you talk about school, you're
mm,
referring to primary and high school.
yeah, I'd say so.
When I
Oh,
asked
you
you
know
that
what?
initial question.
In primary school, it was actually more social. I had like 10 girlfriends a week. I kid you not, bro. I don't know what happens between primary school and high school. I do not know what happens. I swear I was the most confident guy in primary school compared to high school. And then something
Wow.
hit me and I went into my shell. I, I, I'm pretty sure it was gaming. Like, I'd rather speak behind a microphone
Yeah.
instead of speak to someone in person now.
Or do this.
Or do this face to face, with an audience that we're speaking to right now. Um, so I'm pretty sure that was the shift in my like social. Like I used to be that kid that used to go across to their next door neighbors just to have a chat, just to talk to them, like the older couple in the next door, like the house next door. I was a very social guy, and um, now, so really, now that like think back to it, I think it was gaming, man. Like that stopped me from being that social guy, and I sort of went into my own shell and stopped talking to people, and you know what? I should have kept doing that.
I
It's
mean,
considering how much kids earn these days
hey, considering how
from
much
gaming,
I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah.
huh?
There are kids out there, and there's people out there that are doing gaming, and they're
Mm,
doing it as a profession, and
yeah,
they're
yeah,
making insane amounts of money.
yeah. The sacrifices they make to get good and become
Yeah.
that person who is the best in the world
Mhm.
takes a lot, though. Takes away your humanity
You take
almost.
and that is exactly why I personally wouldn't be interested in doing it.
Mm. You're stuck in
I'd
the
rather
same
have,
room
yeah,
every day,
exactly.
repeating the same thing over and over.
It's depressing.
It does get depressing.
Yeah,
And
because
so many kids do it because that's what they have to do after school.
yeah,
Once
well,
school is done,
so
what
you
else do they
obviously
do?
went through the same thing that I
Mm,
did. I completely resonate with you when you talk about the whole gaming situation,
yeah,
because I remember when I was introduced to gaming in my early life, I would have been introduced to Age of Empires.
mm,
Age of Empires and GTA 2. So when it was bird's eye view before it became full 3D.
yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever played that game, but it was good fun.
I haven't played Age of Empires
Yeah, I played Age of
before.
Empires, but I didn't own it.
Definitely played GTA.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone's played that, I'm
yeah.
sure.
But I
Even
remember.
girls
Yeah,
playing that
even girls
game.
that play GTA.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
But I used to go to my cousin's house, and he had a Windows 98,
Yeah,
and he had a Windows 98. We go downstairs into his garage of his house where they used to live, all my cousins, and
yeah.
we'd play GTA. We'd play for ages, and then
How
we go
was A?
upstairs, and he had a PlayStation 1. So this
Yep.
is like late 90s to early 2000s,
Right.
and then we'd play Sega. He'd have
Yeah.
Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember Sega?
Yeah.
He'd have that. and we play PlayStation 1, we play Crash Bandicoot, we
Wow.
play Gran Turismo, the first one. And that's when I was like, this is really cool. Because prior to that, my parents were bringing me into this whole go outside and play type mentality.
Yeah. That didn't
I
work
was
for them,
going
I'm sure.
And then
Or they're trying.
once the gaming situation come into play,
Yeah.
that's when I was indoors more.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got my own console.
Yep.
I got my own PS1.
Yep.
PS2.
Yeah.
PS3.
Yeah.
PS3 is when the kids stayed more at home.
They know how to market that shit.
Because it was online.
Yeah.
And that's what it did. So I completely resonate with you when you say to me, and understand you when you say that gaming really did keep you indoors, because it is addictive, and it is something that can lead you to just staying within your own shell.
Yeah.
And sort of make you feel like as if you're incapable of expanding outside of that shell in the actual real world.
Yeah.
And you were that's
a good way of explaining it.
And you were probably experiencing that.
100%, 110%.
Maybe in a stronger way than what I was.
Yeah, I was playing 10 hours a day, bro. I was that kid in my grade that people would think he's got no life. You know, people always used to tell me that, you've got no life, bro. Like, what are you doing? Always on that game.
How'd that make you feel?
Every time I go on PlayStation, I see you on, bro. What are you doing? But they were jealous that I was a higher level than them as well. I really, truly do believe. But I was putting in the work. The way it made me feel was bad.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to stop me.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to stop me from getting to that highest level, to be known as
the
best in the grade.
Best in the grade. Yeah.
Something like that, you know? And that sort of transferred into, like, as I slowed down with my gaming side of things, I transferred that into my real life. I want to be the best. I want to be the best personal trainer now. You know, I've transferred that. So I'm very glad that transfer happened. But I could have been the best in the world with a ton of money right now if I kept going, you know. I don't know. I could have.
You would have been like playing like World of Warcraft.
Yeah. If anyone knows FaZe, I could have been in FaZe.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know.
You'd be like one of those guys in Call of Duty that's like hit the top prestige in like the first week.
Yeah. Exactly right. I could have been that guy. I had the willpower for it, 100%. But as I said before, I really truly do believe in everything happening for a reason, for everyone. Everyone has a purpose in life. You just need to find it. And I'm very grateful to be in this position that I am in today. You know, I have a daughter, I have a family that I'm building, I have a business that is established and successful, and people know me for being quite an approachable guy. I feel that can help them get to wherever they desire in the gym, and the gym is a very daunting place to be, you know, on your own. And I love helping people, you know, truly see the true benefits of the gym without feeling like they're lost, you know, and guiding them to the right direction that they need to go in, to achieve the best lifestyle possible, you know. But yeah, gaming, it was a part of my life that, you know, I enjoyed, truly did. But now that's in the past.
Yeah,
it's in the past.
And so you were in your high school years. That was what you were saying, that in primary school, I was a kid, or I was a child that I felt, I guess, in a way more extroverted. I was able to go out and actually speak to people.
Yeah, I used to ask girls out. Like, I don't know why I come back to girlfriends and stuff, but I think that was like a popular thing.
Yeah, it was.
I wanted to be the best at that.
Yeah.
You know, I swear, man.
I mean, usually that stuff happens about 10 to 15 years later.
For me, it was the opposite way around. Like, my phase of being I guess they call it I don't want to swear. It's called a F-boy.
Yeah.
Right? We'll call it that. I was an F-boy at the age of 12, bro, or less. Yeah, I was talking to a lot of people. and asking them out and being like, you know what, no, we're breaking up. Like every second day.
No.
And like I did not care about what anyone thought as well. That was insane. I was on like a power trip throughout my whole primary school year. And then as I got older, I matured and slowed down and started gaming, and that all went out the window. But I've got I completely went the other direction though. The other direction compared to where I was in primary school. Like the complete opposite. I would not speak to anyone, any boy, any girl, any teacher. I'll just do my own thing, be in my own head a lot. Overthought about everything. You know, I wanted to do something, but I overthought about it and then I didn't do it. You know, it's a lot of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage.
I just slipped your foot.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage in a way where like I was just in my head about everything, so I wouldn't act on what I wanted to do.
And this is a very common thing I think that people experience in
more than ever these days.
Not only just in high school, but I think in many different ages of their own lives. It's very common.
Yeah. More than ever, because of TikTok and Instagram, everyone's stuck behind a phone, behind a console, even the gaming platform, or a lot of people are stuck behind that. But also, a lot of people are in the gym, which is also starting to
There is a
become
lot of
thing.
people in the gym.
A lot of kids in the gym, right? A lot of kids.
The gym that we go to.
If you go to Club Lime Weatherall Park, shout out. That is the gym that we
That's the gym that you're doing.
reside in.
Yeah, reside. That's your natural habitat.
That's my habitat.
Yeah, that's your natural habitat.
That's my natural habitat. So that is basically, if you've been there before, you know that there's a lot of kids that hang out in the gym.
An abundance.
It's like a playground almost.
It's a playground. It's a playground that's got bars.
Yeah,
it's like
after school playground.
After school playground.
Yeah. And you know, there's that group of kids, and then there's the gaming group of kids that probably aren't there, that are at home, you know, shy, don't want to come out and do their own thing in the gym, you know. And whenever I see, you know, a group of kids in the gym, I see like a lot of insecurity. A group of kids.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people that can't act for themselves, right? A lot of people that should be coming in on their own. They need to do a lot of work on their own, and instead they choose to be this rebellious person.
It's a group. Yeah.
Group mentality, rebellion almost, like. And it's not just our gym. It's a lot of gyms I've heard of that have this same experience. And this is a message to all those kids out there, actually, that come into the gym with a group of people that constantly doing what their head honcho leader of that group is doing, and can't branch out and do their own thing. You know, act and do what you want to do. You know, it's as easy as stepping outside your comfort zone, choosing a day to come in and learning for yourself how to use the gym without that group. And this will also help the other people in the gym as well do what they need to do, which is train and create the best lifestyle possible, right? Through training what you need to train, moving on to the next machine, and allowing people to use that machine that they want to use, instead of coming in a group, right? And ruining everyone's experience because that machine is taken for the next hour. 30 minutes to an hour, right?
Oh my goodness, you've just opened up so many memories.
Like it's fine. It's fine to come in groups. It is fine. But if it's
etiquette, yeah.
If you're making a mess, if you're leaving weights on a bar, then that's when it gets tough. You know, that's when it gets hard to create a good environment for everyone else, right? And that's what you want at the end of the day. You don't want an environment where people screaming, people running around the gym. You know, it's gonna push people away from the gym. You know, be considerate of others as well. So next time you come to the gym, come on your own. and try set your own goals instead of following what your mates' goals are.
Well, I think it's
'Cause everyone has different goals in the gym, right?
that's correct. But I also do think that for people that are at an age in their teenage years, and you remember how it was in high school. High school, I found, was a very unforgiving place
Mm,
where there's a lot of, sometimes there's fights, there's arguments. There is quite a lot of talking behind each other's back.
oh yeah.
There's a lot of teasing, and usually the person that's doing the teasing or like bullying or whatever, they're actually suffering more on the inside than what you are.
Yeah.
Because for them, I found it was easier for them to lash out at someone rather than, this goes back to the David Goggins episode that we watched as well.
Yeah. Shout out
Is that
to the
David Goggins
Huberman Labs.
Huberman Labs podcast of David Goggins? Shout out.
Yeah.
But
one.
they don't want to have a conversation with themselves as to why they're acting that way.
Yep.
And of course, at that age, you're not at that level to even do that.
Yeah.
I feel like just in teenage years, like
They don't have the attention span to even watch.
the attention span.
It's been 20 minutes of this podcast. Do you think they've made it this far?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
I hope that
You're one of a kind.
In my heart, I hope that there is one individual that made it through to hear already this first 20 minutes, because especially if you are younger as well, because what Michael's explained about, what he sort of experienced also with his own internal thing as well.
You'll thank yourself.
He thanks himself to this day.
You'll thank yourself for going off and training on your own and experiencing the gym on your own, because the benefits that you get, the mental barrier, the mental strength that you get from training and building your armor, building your confidence that you will get from the gym, you will never experience by training with other people, right? Because you're relying off their motivation, their push.
You're also sucking their energy.
Yeah. You're sucking a lot of energy out of them to fuel you.
Yep.
But what happens when you fuel yourself through your own experiences, right? You become unstoppable almost, right? You can do anything you want in life if you put your mind to it. Nothing's impossible. But if you constantly rely on someone else to make those dreams a reality for yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. You need to constantly be, as David Goggins said, you need to be doing things you don't want to do, creating friction, stepping outside your comfort zone, and making sure that you're building that mental strength, that mental armor that will allow you to never stop doing what you want to do, no matter who gets in your way.
Yeah, and yeah, that what he was saying in that episode that you brought up was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
because
it starts at an early age.
It starts at an early age, these things.
Yeah, and if really does. Whoever is listening to this point, take that on and really realize what you need to do next, right? It's going to change your life.
Do what you do not want to do in order for yourself to give yourself more mental toughness.
Yeah, get a head start. Start now. It'll put you, after school, it'll put you on another level compared to everyone else in your grade.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, actually, some kids now that have taken on that sort of lone wolf mentality, that are excelling a lot in their younger years. You're seeing them build muscle, build confidence, mental strength, and you know who you are, and you know that obviously always stay humble, but you are experiencing that feeling of superiority in a way, but you shouldn't ever show it, right? You should stay humble and stay in your lane, keep doing what you're doing, because that'll help you long term as well. But in every way, the gym helps. Starting your day off, feeling sharp. Your heart health, your looks, your confidence, right? Everything helps in every way. Your bone density, even, right? I can go on all day with how much the gym helps, right? And sometimes it's not meant for everyone, right? It's actually not. But at the end of the day, if you want to become literally it makes you superhuman, mentally and physically, in a way. So why not start now? I sound like a commercial right now. Why not start now?
Why not start now? Remember the that that commercial that was on I don't know what channel it was on.
Bunch of birds back here.
Yeah, a couple of birds. I don't know.
Having a chat, having their own podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a commercial just goes, "You got a door, you got a gym."
Yes. Hey. Yeah. Now you see all these TikToks with people falling off their door frame, bro. They're doing their chin-ups and they just hit the ground.
Nah,
Just get a gym membership, alright? Don't ruin your house trying to create your own gym. Just go to the gym. It's $17 a week.
Equipment's there, all the stuff that you need. You're surrounded by all these people too, where there's
community.
You're surrounded by a community of people that if you're repetitively seeing them, because you have your normal people that are going at a certain time. So like when I go in at like 4:35, I'm seeing that group of people.
Yeah,
and the ones same group, and the ones who I see repetitively, all the time, they're the ones that I have a higher chance of interacting with.
Yep.
Because I come to the realization that this person is actually on a similar path, trying to do the same thing. But something caused this to happen for them to come here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that the gym is also, it's based on exactly what you said. But I also think that there are things that happen in people's lives that cause them to go, I need to change something about who I am. I need to change something.
There's that spark.
Whatever the hell it is that I am right now, it isn't enough.
Yeah.
And maybe someone says, you should go there and do this.
Yeah.
You should go there and do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't even necessarily need to be the gym. It could just be starting off with walking and getting some early morning sunlight. It could be going for a run for 30 minutes to an hour, doing a David Goggins 200 miles.
Of course.
No, kidding.
But, of course. No, 200 kilometers.
You can go to do swimming. You go do swimming. You go do laps of swimming.
Yeah. You need to, at the end of the day, you need to do what you enjoy.
You need something.
Yeah. You can't just sit down on the lounge.
Yeah.
Straight after work because you're tired and you don't want to go to the gym every single day in, day out. You're not going to grow. You're not going to evolve. You're not going to want to do that thing that you wanted to do with your kids one day because your joints hurt because you don't train, those muscles around them enough. There's so many benefits you can see that come out of the gym and you can tell when someone does train and when someone doesn't. Right, their energy levels are low, their mood is low, their physical appearance isn't the best. They don't take care of themselves as much. It's sort of like, are they happy? That's the question they need to ask themselves. And I'm not saying the gym is the only thing you can be happy with. As we said just then, like you need to find what works for you. I know, like for example, a mate of mine that does calisthenics, right? That's his form of fitness, right? Just using your body weight to lift yourself, and do push-ups and planks and I don't know. I'm not a calisthenics pro by any means, but it helps him have fitness in his life. Helps him create that form of fitness. So And I have another mate, for example, he's just gotten into running a lot, right? That's his form of fitness, right? And there's these small things, like even coming to the gym for 20, 30 minutes, you can make a lot of progress in a year's time, right? It's not going to happen overnight. No one's going to change overnight, but it's all about creating that habit as well. You know, that routine where you can always stick to, and you never let off the gas with just that at least. And then once you create that habit with that one thing that you like doing, and that routine is there, it's established, that's when, all right, let's add to it now. Let's create more because I have more time to do this, to do that. I have more energy now. I'm stronger now, and it builds up to a lot more, right? And all of a sudden you're deadlifting 200 kilos in the gym, or all of a sudden you are doing a muscle up with ease. If you know what a muscle up is, it's a pull up and you push yourself over the bar.
Oh, over the bar, yeah.
Pull up, push over the bar.
See that?
With your whole body.
Yeah.
You know,
that's a hard one.
That's everyone's goal in the gym. I feel like it's in the back of everyone's minds, like, oh, when I'm going to be able to do a pull up, a muscle up, sorry. And this all happens over a lot of years. It doesn't need to happen instantly. That's another thing. Like, people aren't patient enough to do the same thing over and over until they get better at something. And then they can, shift and go from one thing to the other and get better at that thing, and then that thing, and that thing. And each thing will take years and years to enjoy and conquer and make sure that it's enjoyable to do, because you've gotten better and better at it, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, just if you're going to get anything out of this, find what you enjoy and do not stop doing it until you become the best at it, and then add something to it, Start at an early age as well, if you can.
Yeah, if you can, yeah. I mean, look,
it's the best way.
For me personally, like, I didn't start the gym until I was about maybe 19, I think I was.
Yeah.
I think I was about 19. 19.
Start at 19?
So about 19, yeah.
I started at around, it was 18, I think. No, 17.
18, 17, yeah.
17. I'm 25.
Yeah, you're 25, yeah. I started, and for me, I think I was explaining to you before, that's when I felt like I was at my absolute, my pinnacle level of fitness, because I was going in 5 times a week. Not only that too, my muscle recovery was far better at that age.
Testosterone.
Now it's not the same. Really?
Testosterone.
Yeah, my recovery was so much better.
Between like 16 to 22, 23. Yeah.
It was so much easier.
And then it sort of flatlines a bit as you get into like mid-20s, into 30s. 30s it starts declining through to 35, gets worse. And that's why people go on TRT.
What's TRT?
Testosterone replacement therapy.
What?
So it keeps them feeling alive, I guess, in a way. Keeps their strength, keeps their tendons strong, everything strong, basically, and keeps your natural makeup of a male functioning, right?
Is this like a supplement that you're taking? You're putting something
you need a prescription for it. Like, you need to go to a doctor and explain why you feel you need it.
Okay.
And they need to do some testing and give the required amount that you need to be able to do everything you want to do in life, right? But the best time to get on it is obviously in your later years. One way it can decrease is by actually doing what I do, which is competing in physique competitions, getting down to a very low body fat percentage, and it's hard to recover your testosterone from that, right? Doing that repetitively will result in you losing a lot of testosterone long term, right? Say if you do 5 competitions in the span of 2 to 3 years, your testosterone will be a lot lower than the average male, right? So that's when, someone in their 30s, mid-30s to 40s sort of needs to go on it to be able to wake up not feeling tired, be able to wake up feeling like they have energy to be able to go for a walk or go to the gym, you know? So males out there, watch out for that. Maybe do some research on TRT yourself.
That's actually insane.
And be aware of it, because it's not talked about enough, I feel, TRT. And,
yeah, I mean, I'm not familiar with it. You've just opened up that you lied to me just now.
Yeah, it's something that like will enhance your lifestyle, yes. It's not steroids by any means, it's just keeping the levels of your testosterone at its normal amount that it should be at. If it's any lower than what it should be at, then you need to replace whatever amount is left to create the best lifestyle possible, right? I'm not the most knowledgeable on this, but I do know a bit about it. So take this advice with a grain of salt, but just do your own research and, be aware of it, I guess.
Is there a natural way that you know of? Are there natural ways that you can increase it? Because there's like this therapy it's obviously artificially made by humans.
Yeah, it's a little more drastic than anything else.
Yeah.
Right? You need to obviously inject the serum or the liquid into your body, right? To do this, to create the best lifestyle possible for yourself in that way, if you want to still keep continuing with the gym and increasing the betterment of your life and the way you feel. But there are natural test boosters as well that you can take, like tablets and stuff, that will help a little bit. If that's the first step, and if that doesn't work, then you obviously take a little bit more drastic measures. But at the end of the day, it's sort of like you hope that your testosterone levels aren't too low, and you don't have to go out of your way to do all that, right? You hope that they're high enough to stay off TRT or off natural test boosters. You don't want to always be supplementing that throughout your life, right? So natural ways as well of increasing your testosterone is just getting more sleep. A lot of people lack sleep, right? Getting more sunlight, having more time outside, and increasing your vitamin D.
Could this be a reason why that people, male and female, living out in regions of
training more,
yeah. But people living out in regions of, I guess anywhere in the world that's close to like a beach.
Yep.
And they're in the water, in the natural seawater, and they're in the sun. It's hot, and they're out there all the time. And say they're doing that in the morning.
Yep.
That is really helping them a lot.
Oh yeah, they'll be reaping the benefits, right? You always see it. You go to Bondi, you go to the beach, you see these surfers waking up early in the morning, getting out onto the waves. They've started their whole day before anyone does, right? They're like superhuman because they're always outside, they're always enjoying the sun, they're always making sure they're doing their work in the sun. Say if they're working on their laptop or whatever, it's sort of it's just a natural thing now, because everything is done indoors these days. Even the gym is indoors.
Even work
is indoors. Sometimes people don't even step outside now of their house to go to work. They just open up their laptop at home.
It's quite common. I've met a couple of people in our gym that do that.
Yeah, exactly right. So they're gonna get to the later years of their life and be like, why am I always tired? Why am I always sluggish? I don't ever, like, I go to the gym, I have coffee, I have this, and I always feel tired, right? And then they go to their doctor, they get a test for their testosterone.
If you're wondering what this is, I spoke about it on my previous episode. This is yerba mate, but I'll let you finish before I get to that.
What was I saying?
So sorry. I should have waited.
I have short-term memory loss, bro.
I'm sorry, man.
I think I was talking
we're
about,
talking about the people who the surfers. They're superhuman.
yeah,
They go outside.
yeah.
And I think you also mentioned sometime before that too, that going to the gym or doing any form, is it any form of exercise, or is it specifically to increase your muscle?
Yes. So
Actually will better you.
definitely,
Your testosterone, I mean.
yeah, of course, of course. It's a matter of like eating well as well. You know, making sure that you're eating well, eating the right food and the right amount of food for your daily intake, right? I see a lot of people that are malnourished. A lot of people, almost every one of my clients that come to me are protein deficient. Don't have enough protein, don't have enough nutrients, don't have enough fiber, and it's such a big issue because it's gonna catch up to them one day, and they're gonna be like, "Why do I feel this way? Why do I never feel like I have energy unless I have my 5 coffees a day?" You know, and it all starts from your younger years. You know, if you want to add years to your life, you start gaining knowledge now. You know, in your 20s and your 30s, so that when you're in your 50s, 60s, you are reaping the benefits. You look younger than everyone around you that is in your age bracket, right? And you're healthier, less prone to injuries, less prone to being in the hospital and having to deal with a cannula in your arm for them to test what's going on with you or this and that. Like nobody likes being like, this is probably too drastic, like with what I'm saying, but you'll be visiting the doctor a lot more often if you do not act now in your 20s and 30s.
But it's true what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
It's real. It's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
I know what you mean.
You are gonna think back to this podcast in your 40s, 50s, 60s if you didn't act now and think, shit, I should have listened to Michael.
I
should have went to the gym. I should have started eating more protein. I should have started going for more walks, adding my steps in.
It's true, man. Like
steps in. It's just simple things, man. It can't be. It's how society is these days, right? They market the unhealthy stuff really well, really well.
Like soft
drinks, McDonald's, all the colorful stuff, right?
Yeah.
That isn't vegetables. That isn't lean, extra lean beef. That isn't, even supplements, protein powder. Some supplements you don't need, like BCAAs and amino acids and stuff like that. You can just take your protein powder.
Fish oil?
Fish oil is fine. You can take that. Like it's just all these things that are marketed poorly get pushed aside, and all the unhealthy stuff get pushed to the top. So people don't even see the healthy stuff until they're at a reasonable age to realize themselves that shit. I've been having the unhealthy stuff my whole life. And now what do? I need to reverse all these habits that I've created throughout my lifetime within a couple of years so I can add years to my life instead of shortening my lifespan, right? So the gist of it all is get some guidance now. You know, if you're above the age of 30 and you haven't started training in the gym or acting on your nutrition,
or even any form of exercise,
then you need the guidance now. Invest in yourself because no one else will. Who's going to come to you and say, Michael, I am going to give you $200 a week to invest in your health for free? Like, that's your money to invest in your health. Who's going to do that?
Fucking no one.
Absolutely no one.
Fucking
but
no
yourself. But yourself. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's up to you. You need to make that decision now.
You're on your own. Like, you gotta you truly are on your own in this world in some respects, because people are not going to make the decisions for you. People are going to try and say, either they're going to do it in a sort of,
they're going to tell you the way that worked for them.
They're going to tell you exactly what worked for them,
or that gets them some sort of benefit. that might not be a benefit for you, which is
You just touched on something right there, by the way.
wasting your money on
You
something
just
that you thought
touched
would
on
work.
something just then that is something that's very common in this day and age.
People sell themselves to you really well.
Yeah.
Something that may not work for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of I'm not going to name names actually.
Yeah.
There's people out there that sell a liquid diet, let's just say that. A liquid diet to a lot of people that want to lose weight, right? And this liquid diet will not give you the same nutrients that you need to live a long life, to grow muscle, to feel energetic, to create the best possible body and mind for yourself, right? It's unattainable through a liquid diet. Anyone who uses liquid diets to benefit themselves isn't benefiting. They might lose a bit of weight, right? Because their calories are a lot lower than usual, which is bad. They shouldn't be having 800 calories a day full of liquid. They're ruining the makeup of their body. They'll never grow muscle mass in their life, to the next level that they want to be at. So if any of you are on a liquid diet, trying to cheat your way to the perfect body that you've always dreamed of, get off it right now.
Get off it.
Get off it. Don't even throw that liquid bullshit out into the trash.
Just resell it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone
that same decision that you made.
Mistake, and then they're going to come across this podcast and they're going to realize, shit, I should have listened to Michael. I should listen to Michael and go from there.
Well, that's very common nowadays. Is that what they do? I notice is that, and it might not just be for nutrition. It could be like to make a business. I've come across a lot of these these advertisements on YouTube where people try to show you how to make a business online.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that these days.
What they do is that they show
everyone wants to be an entrepreneur.
They show you this high life.
Yeah.
That exists around it. All this high life.
Yep.
But then all of this goes back to David Goggins.
David Goggins,
and it goes back to what he said in that interview.
Yeah.
It's not
you people, sorry. If you guys do not know who David Goggins is, do your research right now.
Yeah. Watch this guy.
Buy his book. He's got 2 books out actually. I'm not a reader. I'll buy the Audible version of it and read and listen to it. But at the end of the day, you need to look at these people and look at what they've achieved and how they've got there. It's not easy. None of what I'm saying is going to be easy.
Nope.
You're going to have to change a lot in your life to get to where all these successful people have gone to.
It's suffering.
It's friction. It's suffering. Yeah. It's a lot of doing things you do not want to do, but you're going to go and do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of discipline is involved.
And that's the issue that I have with these people that are trying to make all of these very quick changes in people's lives who are making these products or showing them, hey, you can make this, and then if you make this and you put in the time and effort to invest in my product, you
gotta be careful of that.
But what they're trying to do is that they're feeding off people, right? Because they know in society, right, that everybody wants to make it as fast as possible. They understand that, and so they feed off those people.
Mm-hmm.
They feed off them. They go up to them. They feed them, and they give them this information, and they sell it to them like that, and they become under this spell instantaneously. They're hooked. They're in.
Yeah.
This is the quickest way I'm going to get out of this, and I want this way because I don't want to go through the harder way to get into this.
You said
no one wants to fucking do that.
No.
No one wants to go through the really hard stuff, and it makes sense because who wants to suffer? No one wants to suffer.
No way.
No one wants to suffer, but you have to suffer in order to live.
Yeah, a good life.
It's bullshit, I know.
Yeah. People don't believe me, I tell people time and time again, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. I'm telling you this because it's going to create a better life for you. You're going to feel more energetic, more sharper, more. You're going to have less chance of injury. You're going to not always be going to the doctors or the physio to help yourself. But they rather listen to the person that's marketed the ultimate lifestyle as quick as possible, straight away, right? And that's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for anyone. I've been doing this for 8 years, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Like looking after my health for a solid 8 years, creating my own knowledge about my views on nutrition and fitness and what's best for me, right? I've been doing it for 8 years, and there's people out there that haven't even started yet who need to start.
They need to for their own benefit, because if they don't, it's like, look,
it might not happen now, but it will happen eventually.
Hopefully it happens for them.
The spark that they need.
I get what you mean about saying about that whole, you're not trying hard enough. You're not, you're going to the doctors more often. You're going to the doctors more often because you're unhealthy and all this type of stuff. And I've actually been there.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Because I went through a time where in my earlier 20s, I was just going out and partying and doing fucking crazy shit that I shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
And I was doing that. I went through that whole process, and I went through that process for quite a couple of years until the pandemic happened.
Yep.
I started to die off a bit, but I was still there a bit, but I died off. But in my earlier 20s, I was going hard, and I was making visits to the doctor once a month.
Yep.
Because my body was just consistently out of whack because of lack of sleep, because of too much consumption of alcohol.
Yep.
Literally wasting. I was aging 2 times quicker than what I should be.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's all because I wasn't trying. I wasn't actually going into the gym.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually giving it a go. Or I got an injury. I got an injury from soccer and I gave up.
Yep.
I was like, nah, sad. I was hurting. And then once I was able to recover from it, I did nothing about it.
Yeah.
And I was upset. I was pissed. And so I just, I was wasting it.
Yep.
And the doctor's like, you got to do something about this.
Yeah.
Because you're 23 years old, and now you're starting to have all these issues. And then I think that one person who I met in my life, and this is someone we both know, that started to help me get out of that, was Michael Navarrete. Because I met him through a workmate of mine at Fit and Fast at that time, called Clubline.
Yes.
And he got me into a program.
Yep.
And then I started following his program.
Yeah.
And my visits to the doctor started to just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this program that he helped me with. He showed me what I had to do.
Yep.
Through a personal trainer. And I went and I did that. And I'll tell you what, I think that if I didn't even make an attempt to find any personal trainer for myself, through what was going through my mind at that point in time, I might not be here today. I might not be here today, man. And
that's very deep, bro.
Yeah, I might not be here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why do you say that?
I say it because sometimes you go through things where, you know how you said about that self-sabotage? I understood that when you said that, because I experienced that.
Yeah.
I was going through that a lot. And as I said, I was wasting my life away. And I'd gone to hospital situation one time. And I was sitting there looking at myself in the mirror. I was in the hospital. And I was just like, I had the ambulance take me from home and everything. Couldn't breathe anymore. It was really, really bad.
Yeah.
Mum was freaking out. It was.
What happened?
Couldn't breathe anymore. It's hard to breathe. I was like,
I
couldn't do anything. I had fractured a rib.
Doing what?
because I was drinking too much,
Yep.
and I vomited. When I vomited,
Mm.
I vomited so violently when I actually bent over to do the vomit that I did it so quickly and so powerfully. When I
Yeah.
did it, I fractured the rib.
Oh,
Cracked one of the ribs.
and that there
I cracked it.
was your spark
Yeah,
to be like, shit,
yeah.
I can't do
was
this
it.
anymore.
That was it.
It's a shame that people need something bad to go wrong to get themselves out of wherever they're in.
It was hard.
They're waiting for that day that comes. That's going to be a reality check for them.
Yeah. It was hard, man.
This life is very fragile.
Yeah.
Us humans are very fragile as we can. Who knows what's around any corners, bro? At the end of the day, you only have one body to take care of, you know. And even if this podcast is the spark for you, you know, I hope it is.
I think even for anyone.
I hope it is. For anyone, I hope
Yeah.
we're igniting something in you to be able to make a change, because there's a lot of people I can think of right now that need to make a change.
Mhm.
Or else there's going to be a lot of people that are very sad
Mhm.
for them, you know,
Yeah.
for what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And it's a selfish thing, because there's people that care about them,
Yeah.
right? And people that need them to stick around and be there for them, right? And it's a hard topic, but I feel like every family that has someone that needs to look after their health needs to have this conversation
Mhm.
with that person. Sit down around the table, dinner table, whatever it is. You know, book in a time if everyone's busy, you know, happens to be busy, to talk about their health and what they can do to fix it before it gets any worse than what it is. And just have an open mind to it. Don't just shut down and say no to it. No, stop saying this. No, you always tell me. Have an open mind. You know, I see a lot of people just deny that their health is deteriorating.
Mhm.
You know, until that day comes where it's like, all right, there's that spark. All right, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do everything. Do it before that happens,
Mhm.
because that whatever happens could create long-term damage that you can never undo. You know, so it's a big issue in this world. Like, this is going to come out of that topic a bit. I'm glad I saw Ziz on the internet because he led me in this path that I'm on. Believe it or not, man.
God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Aziz Shaverjian.
You see pictures of him before?
I've seen
Before and after? Have you seen them?
every picture possible. He looked like me when I first started going to the gym. And he led me on the path that I need to be on, right? Everyone has their purpose. Everyone has a reason why they started something, right? I want this podcast to be the reason you started, you know?
And I really appreciate that.
If that does happen for you, whoever's listening right now,
Mm.
58 minutes in, thank me later.
Comes big, massive success.
Yeah, bro.
Doing collab podcasts with like Koopman and freaking Chris Williamson and
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the dream, man. But we got to go through the suffering before we get there.
Yeah. That we might have 2 viewers watching this.
We gotta.
You know.
We gotta do
the hard work.
We gotta do the hard work first.
And stay hard.
Yeah, stay hard.
Yeah, bro.
And don't give a fuck about whatever motherfucker says to you.
100%.
Just do.
Just
That's
do
it.
it.
And it's just like, and then Goggins just goes, "That's it. Just do." It's just like that.
He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's saying.
Straight to the point. Yeah.
He knows what he's saying.
I had a conversation with
No filter, no bullshit, just straight to the point.
I had a conversation with one of the kids in the gym.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's still a teenager. He'd be late teens, I reckon, based on his age.
Yeah.
From how I see him. I tried having a conversation with him about David Goggins.
Did he know who David Goggins was?
He does.
He does.
He probably watches the shorts, the reels.
Yeah.
Because that's the quickest way to attain information about him.
Yeah.
And what do you reckon? I reckon he's bullshit. I go, yeah? You reckon he's bullshit? Okay.
The kid said that.
I said, what have you done in your life that resonates with what he's done? He didn't know how to answer the question.
Because he doesn't know how it feels to be him.
No. They don't, at that age, right? Even for me too, right? Yeah, I was hurting. Yeah, you were hurting too. Because you were indoors, you were playing games. You didn't want to, you were not actively wanting to go outside of your circle. And I was a bit similar. I was in a circle. I didn't want to go outside of that circle. You know what I mean? And I think that's how it is in teenage years, because you feel so insecure about actually going out there and wanting to give it on, because there's so much like bullying, there's so much teasing, there's so much backstabbing that happens. And the hierarchy too in school with the popularity. That's the hierarchy. That's how it works. The social dynamic in school.
Yeah.
And it's shit because everyone else that's got something good to offer that doesn't get a voice just gets drowned out.
Oh yeah.
Completely.
100%.
And that's what I think kills people's motivation to have this drive and desire. And that's what was happening. I remember it happened to me. I don't know if it happened to you.
Yeah.
But it happened to me.
Oh yeah. We never got a say in any classroom or any situation in the group. Like the shy people, the people who thought about the shy people were the good people of the world. You know, they're going to do good things in life. But majority of the people would stay away from the shy people and not ever let them speak up.
Yeah.
You know? And that does something to them, you know? That creates...
I feel like it does one of two things. What do you think it is?
Everyone loves to be involved. You know? Cheers, man.
Yep.
Everyone loves to be involved in group activities.
Yep.
Have a say. It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Expressing your own opinion. That's what feels good doing this podcast right now.
That's what podcast I think is good. He's very good about podcasts because you can express your opinion.
Express your opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has the right to say their opinion. And if your opinion isn't getting heard, then nobody's perspective will change.
Exactly.
So everyone's going to just listen to the person that said the first perspective and not know what could have happened if the shy person spoke up and said his perspective or her perspective and changed the whole argument.
Changes the dynamic of the argument, that's right.
Yeah. So, what are you going to say it changes?
Yeah, I think that like the putting down, the one-upping, the backstabbing, the bullying, all that stuff, it does one of two things. I feel like usually what it does, what I know it did to me was that I shriveled. And a lot of people, I feel like that they do, because sometimes you struggle to have the strength to sort of speak up in those situations when you actually do need to protect yourself, because you realize that there really is no one there that's going to protect you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The other is you get that one kid that was probably brought up a bit more differently. And just goes, you know what? Fuck you, I'm going to go and do that. And you get those kids. There's not many of them. You get those kids.
Yeah?
Yeah, you get those kids.
Big ass B.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. He's alright, he's gone.
Yep.
He's not here to bully us, that's for sure.
No.
We already copped enough of that. We copped enough of that before.
Exactly.
But yeah, there's two kids that cop that stuff and how they retaliate. One is you shrivel and you go back inside your cave.
Yep.
And the other one is you go outside your cave, and it's just like, if you want to come into my cave, I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
It's two reactions. That's all it is.
Yeah. I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
You know? It's the feeling we had when, like, we wanted to stay out of the drama as much as we could.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all it was, really. It's just protecting yourself, making sure that you don't always have that burden of coming to school and having to face that person every day, you know? Like, it got to a point where I was so anxious to go to school for no reason at all, just for the judgment of people. It got to the point where I was waking up hyperventilating, having a panic attack
I didn't get that.
Every morning.
Wow.
Yeah. I never told anyone, actually. I just went, all right, I'm up again in the morning, time to have a panic attack. And it just happened without even thinking of anything, because I just knew I was going to school, right? And knowing that I was alone on that front, like nobody could relate with me. Like, I saw other people and their confidence when they went to school, and I was jealous. It's like, where's my confidence? Like, what have I done to wake up every morning hyperventilating and having to vomit, like literally vomit every morning to relax myself, right? I had to wake up with a bucket next to me, like, because I knew it was going to happen every morning. I did this from literally year 9 to year 12.
Wow.
Yeah. In the later years of my life, every morning, my mum would bring me to the doctors, think something's wrong. But no, it happened at the same time every morning before school.
You know what that's like? That's like I
was overthinking.
You're overthinking, but you know what that is as well? Is that you were in a prison in your mind. And in your mind, you were inside of that prison cell.
Yep.
And there's you as Michael Uno inside of that. And the key is actually on the side of your table. It's there.
Yeah.
The door's locked, but the key's there. And the other prison guards that are outside of there are all Michael Uno. And they're looking at you thinking, he's got that key.
Yeah.
All you got to do is just open it.
Yeah.
And for you, it was you couldn't break free of it, even though you knew what had to do. But I am glad that, and for yourself now, and let's just take a moment.
Yeah.
To go. That was Michael Uno almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like when I started this episode with you.
Yep.
I started with that question about if you went back 10 years in time, what advice would you give yourself?
Yeah.
And now you're saying this, and to look at how you would wake up every day with your confidence levels so low to the point that you had to have a bucket around you to prepare yourself for the fear
of school,
having to go out there and expose yourself to the world.
Yep.
And now you're a fucking personal trainer in a gym trying to help other people.
Yep.
What a fucking beautiful way to change someone's life on their own in 1 decade.
Yeah.
You should be fucking proud of yourself, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate
you got yourself from vomiting in the bucket to no vomiting with the bucket to no bucket.
Yeah.
And then to where you are today.
Yeah.
You should be fucking proud of yourself, bro.
People will laugh at that, believe it or not.
I don't laugh at that because I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful in a way.
But it's real. People are potentially going through that now. They wake up every morning. Shit, I need to go to school. There's this person there. They might think of this, like judge me for this way or that way, or the way I look today, or because I, got this massive pimple on my face, I'm gonna obsess over that. And I feel for them, but there is a light on the other end of the tunnel. There is a light. it's just something you need to embrace right now. You know, everything happens for a reason. Because I was so held back by that in school, by my fear of school and judgment, it's like I've been catapulted into the real world, knowing that I needed to change. The same thing I'm doing over and over isn't going to change unless I do something about it. And this brings me back to the Ziz conversation, right? I saw him and the confidence that he had, and the confidence that he didn't have prior, right? What it looked like from his before photo to his after photo of him jacked and ripped and confident and dancing and, you know, giving out motivational quotes to everyone, right? I didn't want to be exactly him. I wanted to have a little bit of that confidence that he has, right? So I saw him going to the gym, and the way he would act in the gym and everything, like, obviously not many people would fancy that, right? But I started training, and the first couple of years of training, I understood why he was the way he was. But I needed to have my own twist on it, my own person. I need to become my own person with that new found confidence, right? And to be able to help people that are of all ages, right? So I'm very lucky to have found the gym. I might have still been doing that same thing over and over before work, even vomiting in a bucket because I'm scared of, like, Billy Bill, who's gonna freaking bully me at work today. You know, I could have been in that same position, waking up every morning, being, you know, fearful of what's out there. It's a scary world out there, man. You know, you need to know how to tackle it, how to beat it, how to be on top of it instead of under it.
It's a combination of heaven and hell.
Yeah. You come across that person that wants to bring you back down. You come across that person, they're out there. They're not going to treat you well sometimes. You just need to bite your tongue and be like, all good. I know where you're at. I know what you're going through, and it's probably not good. But one day, I hope you change. You make it out of that point. It's like everyone on the road. Everyone's gone through a bit of road rage in their life. It's because they're behind the wheel, right?
Yeah.
That's their safe place. They can do whatever they want behind the wheel. Say, stick their rude finger out the window or do whatever, until they come face to face with that person, right? And they'd be like, yeah, what do you want to do about it? And that starts
then again,
ego after ego after ego.
Then it's a dash cam story.
Then it's a dash cam story, yeah. So it's a scary world. Like, I see people losing it at me sometimes because, you know, I wouldn't let them in a car park, or I don't know, they're starting to rage it because of some reason that I've apparently gotten in their way. And the way they react, the way everyone reacts explains what you're going through in your life.
Yep.
The way they react is in rage. The way I react is, it's okay, everything's going to be okay. We're all going to get through this. Right? And it's something that people need to, like, investigate, like, with how they react on the road as well. I don't know how it took this turn, but it's like everyone's just constantly enraged for some reason. And I feel like if you work on yourself, that won't happen. You're content with the way your life is. You found what you wanted to do, and you're at the right point in your life, you know? But coming back to what I've been through school and everything, it's something that was my spark. Every day I had a spark. I just need to do something about it, you know? And I was going to the gym. And the gym didn't just help me with gaining muscle, it helped me mentally with the benefits that helped me to get a job, to do that interview, to be confident in that interview. Like, I've had group interviews before, and I knew I needed to stand out, so I did. I put myself out there, spoke up, I put my hands up. I never used to put my hands up in school, you know, and that's what the gym gave me. it gave me that second chance of a different route in life.
The ability to voice an opinion.
Exactly right. Tying in with what we said in school and the group activities. You get a better chance at life. There's two roads. There's the road where you do not work on yourself. You stay the way you are. You never grow, evolve, get that better job, get that promotion. And then there's the other route. You change what you wanted. You change where you've been and where you want to be, and you excel in everything you do. Right? You need to find that. And that will create a whole different life for yourself. If you do not create that life, it's not going to be made for you. Nobody's going to do it for you, right? You need to act as soon as you can to make sure that you get to where you want to be, right? A lot of people will say it's luck, right, as well. And it's not lucky. I wasn't lucky to find my way to where I am now, with a job and all these things that I have got going on for myself. It comes over time and resilience and being able to learn as you go, being open to learning, right? And never letting an opinion change your mind completely, but taking it on with a grain of salt, and adding to the makeup of your own mind at the end of the day. But yeah, school was tough, man. School made me who I am today. It catapulted me to where I am now. And it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy going to school. Like I never wanted to be there. Never,
Same.
And I felt like it was like, so this is how the rest of my life is going to be. But no. The people who struggle in school are actually the more successful ones. They know they need to change. They know they need to make their way out of how they've been the last 12 years of their life. 12 to 13 years. If you're counting kindergarten, I don't know, preschool.
I don't know what came about that, the kindergarten. Just started from year one.
Started from year one. Kindergarten's basically daycare, honestly.
Anyway, go on.
School can be very good for you in terms of social aspects.
Yeah.
Right? But it can be a very leaderboard-based, judgment-based community, which people don't like. The way the system is made these days, it's like who's the smartest, who's the best at this, who's the best at that, and let's push down the people that aren't the best and keep the best in one class and the worst in another.
Hierarchy,
right? And I've always been against that. I believe it should be mixed. People will debate this, right? Between the smartest in the grade and the people that aren't the most intelligent together. So maybe there's a chance for that unintelligent person to
learn something
more, because sometimes they might not learn it off the teacher, right? So there's a lot of, everyone can say something about the school system and how it should be changed and what can be changed to better the future kids of today. Like everyone always says it, like, why isn't there more reality-based subjects, like learning about how to do your taxes or how to rot the system? No, collect cash. Cash is king.
Yeah. Well,
like
this point that you bring up is one of the biggest.
Or run a business.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur. There's business. The subject.
There's business studies.
Yeah.
But it doesn't teach you. This is the early stages.
How to use TikTok. Like it can be a good promotional, like marketing technique that you can use.
Can be.
There's a lot of things that you do not need a degree for now as well, which can make you successful, without having to have one. without having to have a degree, right? So with my PT course, even like all I needed to do was 10 to 12 months of college to get my qualifications to be able to do whatever I wanted to do elsewhere. Very short period of time, considering all the courses now these days. But if that's all you needed to do, then like you don't even need to do that actually. You can just go off and start up your own what's it called, Shopify website, or
but
like
Shopify, I've heard there's only been one major success story. There we go.
Yeah.
And that was the guy in Adelaide who made the Woody.
Really? I didn't know that.
He's the major success story. Everyone else hasn't really reached his peak.
Yeah. Okay.
So he became a millionaire from it.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. I don't know what he looks like, but yeah, he's the only one that actually really became successful from it.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why I'm a little bit funny. Because again, going back to what I said about these people who make those businesses understand that everybody wants to get somewhere in the fastest, most quickest period of time.
Yeah.
And the reason why everything is like that is now what I realize is because of the fact that everything that happens in our society happens at a far more accelerated rate than when it did when we were brought into the world. Everything happens very quickly. Everything happening very fast. Technology has made us move in a far more quicker way than what we actually are.
Oh yeah. Now we're being introduced with AI. What are your views on AI? Good, bad?
I get why
everything above.
I get why they think it's necessary to bring it in.
Yeah.
I get why you would bring that in. But it's it is a little bit worrying because of the fact that it does appear to be smarter in us in certain ways. My views is that I'm not too sure about it.
Yeah.
I think that when you see the fact that it apparently I read something somewhere, I don't know what specific type of AI it was, but it was in a robotic form, and it actually somehow, without even comprehending how the hell it did it, it actually reproduced.
Reproduce what?
It's another baby, like how, yeah. It reproduced. It made a child. It made a child. They somehow did their own. It had a kid.
What?
It had a kid.
You see it all these days, huh?
So what I'm saying is that it has done that thing that we do, in order to make another human being. Or dogs to make another dog. Every other animal on this planet to make another thing.
AI is doing it now.
And it's done it, and it's reproduced on its own without us telling it to do so.
Oh wow.
So yeah, they're making a mistake. The only dilemma for us is that, is it more powerful than us? Yes, to a certain extent. And even if it were to get to a point where it would, because we're worried and we're fearful that we've always wanted to come across something that's more smarter and more intelligent than what we are. Because as far as we know, so far, in this day and age, we don't know about in the past.
Yeah.
But what we don't really know in the past, because there's nothing that shows that we come across anything apart from the conspiracies about aliens.
Yeah.
Okay? But from what we know now, artificial intelligence is the only thing that's come out on Earth that could be more stronger and more powerful with its mind than what we are.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an issue.
That's the issue, isn't it?
That's an issue. So naturally, right? We want our race to succeed and to continue. We don't want our race to dwindle and eventually become zero. We want it to continue. That's just the way that we are. That's our survival instincts as humans coming out. we don't want to cease to exist as a race. We want to continue going. But yeah, from what some little things here that we've seen already in early stages, this thing is very powerful.
Yep.
And it could do that. And even if it does, I'll tell you one thing as well, that even if people do think that it's smarter than us, because you can go into ChatGPT, bro.
Yeah.
And you go, write me a business plan for a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And it'll make that a whole page. It'll do it for you in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Less. 30 seconds.
Which human can do that in 1 minute?
A human can't do that. Process all that information and do it all at that pace. Not even Elon Musk can do that. Okay?
Yep.
But it doesn't have the creativity that a human has. Because you get all these AI bots, right? They're making songs. They're making movies.
Yep.
But they don't possess our creativity.
No.
Because they don't have a soul.
The music industry will be there.
Yeah.
To stay. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of loss in people's jobs. Like you're seeing it in Woolies now and Coles, and like it's a weird combination of half human, half computer.
Cyborg.
Yeah. Processing your groceries or doing whatever, right?
Well,
it's very interesting in a way where we haven't completely succumbed to AI completely. It's half right now.
Yeah, it's a half. It's not all the way yet.
There's still cash registers there.
Yeah.
With humans standing by them.
Hey, you go to Greenfield Park, bro. You're still getting a checkout chip.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
They're still stuck in
Still got
1950.
it. Good on them. Good on them, bro. Hey. There'll be a couple of those places here and there, but they'll probably go out of business. Who knows? People want to just deal with computers now, eventually, right? So, and then you look over on the other side of the store. There's like a box where you can enter and put your groceries down, do it all yourself, right? And then, even better, there's online. You don't even need to go to the shops anymore. You just buy everything online. There's no delivery fee or anything as well. Get all your groceries put on your doorstep. So this comes back to what I was saying before. If you do not start now with your fitness journey, you are done for. Well, because everything is going to be done for you.
You know what's
right? They're going to put it right on your doorstep for you to pick up and bring to your kitchen. Who knows? They might bring a robot with them to put it away for you.
Later. That'll come later.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie WALL-E?
Mm-hmm. That opened up my mind to a lot.
You know why? Because that movie is related to this topic we're discussing right now.
Yeah.
It's a vision in the future of humanity in outer space.
Everyone remembers the last few scenes while they're in space, yeah?
I don't remember the last few scenes. Re-jog my memory.
There's a whole community of people out in space. I'm pretty sure this is the same movie I'm talking about. Out in space, okay? And they're all on wheelchairs. They don't walk. They're all overweight. Gained the most amount, and they're just sitting down with their controller in their hands, moving themselves around. I'm pretty sure that's the movie that WALL-E is the movie that I'm talking about.
Exactly the scene that I was thinking of, but I forgot that was the end.
If you end up editing this, remember 1 hour, 29 minutes, and put up a clip of that, of them just like moving themselves around just with their arm, all over the place, grabbing their food, eating it, in the wheelchair, moving their wheelchair. That's how society can end up.
That's what I think. That's the message that, because movies usually, when they're done well, always tend to have a message to scare the shit out of you about what is to come if we don't do something about it now. And WALL-E, I think, is an example of that.
Yeah.
It's completely related to what you've discussed before about
people can't use their legs anymore.
Get up and do something about it.
Yeah.
Because if we don't,
really get up
as a race, if we
stop sitting down.
Yeah, yeah.
and get up.
Get up,
That
man.
felt good just then, standing up. You
No,
know,
because like
we've been sitting here for a bit now. Been sitting here for a bit.
but it's one of those things. Like it's dangerous. Like even
Like I want you right now, whoever's listening to this at this point of the whole podcast, 1 hour and 30 minutes in, to get up. And if you do not have a gym membership, you're gonna go online even.
do research.
Some gyms are closed right now because it's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Or I don't know when this is being posted. And sign up to that gym, whatever gym you want to go to. It'll cost you between $15 and $20 a week to change your life forever.
Imagine changing your life forever and what you can become. I'm on that journey now, man.
Yeah, unless you want to end up in a wheelchair.
Like those guys in Wall-E.
Like the guys
You
in
want to
Wall-E.
be like those guys in Wall-E, bro? Because I don't want to fucking be one of those guys in Wall-E.
No way.
I said that to my nonna. I said, I don't want to get fat. She goes, you can't.
It's impossible for you.
I go, but what if I just start, pumping 20 case of beers a day?
Oh, anyone can get fat.
How about I go and do that?
If you let yourself go enough, anyone can get fat. Yeah.
So yeah, and another movie too that I come out a couple of years ago that really got my attention. Did you see The Joker?
Yeah.
The Joker, the
Yeah,
recent one.
yeah, of course.
You know that you know what that is? The message behind that?
What?
Someone who's not mentally all there.
Yep.
Don't make a lot of fun out of them and try and use them as an example and make fun of them all the time.
Mm.
Because if you do that to them, because they're not there, right? They're not all there. They can't
Yeah.
process things that people normally can, right?
Yep.
These are the guys that turn into like freaking pedophiles and like sociopaths and like just go out there just killing people and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because that movie just shows you, if you go out there and you try and hurt those people, one day they're going to possess so much strength that they're going to become a threat to our society.
Of course.
And they're going to cause anarchy. And they're going to get people on board with them who feel the same pain that they do to go and destroy our society because you destroyed them.
Yep.
That's the message behind that movie, I think.
Oh yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
If you've watched
That's what I learned from that.
100%. I can see that.
Mm.
If you've watched it before, you'll see that. It's going to create a lot of long-term consequences, not just to that person who was doing it,
Yeah.
but the people that are just living their normal lives, just trying to get
Have no
by.
involvement
Yeah.
in this person's life, but this person's gone like that
Yep.
because they just
Yeah. Got to look out for each other. You know, it's life isn't easy. You know, the world is made to not be easy. Life isn't easy at all. You know, people struggling with their finances. Some people end up living on the street. Some people end up, not being able to afford their medical bill, and ending up in a life full of debt, and we're all in this together. At the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to be nice to people. It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's a dime.
Give someone a smile. It'll change the whole day. Say
It actually
hello.
does.
You
You notice that nowadays, I don't know if it's this area, maybe specific parts of Sydney.
Everyone looks angry.
Yep.
Like they're going through something.
Looks angry.
And
that's the effect of the detrimental effect of what bigger cities do to people because of the amount of pressure that the individual or the family is under to try and be as best as they can or be better than the person that's next to them.
Yep. Too many people compare themselves to each other.
And it just destroys you in here.
Yeah.
You just get messed up, I realize. That's why I love traveling outside of Australia. Well, not just outside of Australia, but traveling in Australia.
Yeah.
And then traveling around the world.
Yeah, of course. because it gives off that humanity, like humanity is one, we're all together in this, and everyone's helping each other out. Everyone's like, that form of life is the best form to be in, to have people help people, right? And if that was a thing on the road with all this road rage, bring it back to that. If you helped the person out, that was, instead of like saying, nah, I'm not letting you in, you guys end up at the same lights anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we're all in this together. You might get through those lights, but that's because you broke the rules.
Yeah.
Right? To speed off, go over the speed limit by 20, 30, and to get past those lights. But we're all going to end up in the same place anyway at the end of the day. So it doesn't hurt to be nice, to change someone's day, to change their life even, It's just how society is these days. There's so much going on in people's lives, they forget to be present.
Yeah, I had this conversation with being in the present. My Thursday in the gym with one of the guys there.
Yeah.
I just met him for the first time. Had an amazing conversation.
Wow.
Meeting him the first time.
It's mad.
Very good conversation. And we were talking about living in the present and how it's just so hard at times to continuously just be here, because again, back to the way how society is and how you need to be on top of all of these other things. You're constantly thinking about what's going to happen then. You're not thinking about what's now.
Yeah.
Society forces you to think about what's going to happen in the future. So obviously, it can be good and beneficial for you to better yourself.
Yeah.
But it puts you under quite a lot of stress. It really does. And
the more you think about the future, the more pressure it adds.
I feel like it does. Yeah, you do. And you do need to think about the future. This is true. It works in two ways, I think. It's two ways I think it works.
Shouldn't think of just one way. You should think of both ways.
Short
term and long term.
Short term, long term.
Short term, am I happy? Long term, how am I going to make myself happy? What am I going to do to get there? Right? But every step of the way, you need to be enjoying the moment that's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
There could be something that's happening right in front of your eyes that passes by.
Yep.
And you never took that in, never felt the emotions that you could have felt if you just were present in that moment. Right? And a lot of people lack this. They end up depressed because they've thought about, I'm worrying about all the small things and nothing, is taking off, and I can't get to where I want to be, and it's not happening. And like short term, I can't think of long term. Like they just get confused. They confuse themselves and with what they feel like is best for them. All right. So if you're not present in life, it's not going to be the best life you've ever lived. You need to stop and sort of speak to yourself a bit and have a conscience and speak to yourself and say, is it worth worrying about long term when short term is so good? Make that short term period of your life good, and then worry about long term later more than the short term. I always tell this to my clients. I always say, they always come to me with long term goals. This is what I want to look like. They have all these expectations. They come to me, I want this, I want this, I want that. They're so focused on what they want to look like and not focused on where they're at right now, which is nothing to do with that long-term version of themselves.
Because you have to do in the present.
Fix what's wrong in the present to get to where you need to be.
For that to look real.
Yes.
Hopefully become real.
Yep.
Might not exactly become real, because who knows what the fuck's happening in between present and that time.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Exactly. There's an expectation built by society in people that come to. I always like using the gym as an analogy or an example.
It's okay.
But everyone comes to the gym with an expectation.
Yep.
And that defeats the purpose of the gym and enjoying the journey. Like, it feels good to come in and challenge yourself and try to beat that person that came in the day before, which was you.
Yeah.
You know, it feels good if you just enjoy the journey and you try to push yourself harder and harder than the day before every day. You're going to get to where you want to be eventually.
Yeah.
Without even noticing.
It's a difference in mentality, I think, Michael, that I'll give an example, right? When I started when I was 20, I think the mentality I had, because I had a girlfriend back then when I was really young, my first girlfriend. She wasn't going, I was going.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how I was so determined to go. I had someone that I was going with, so he was helping me go because I couldn't.
Good.
Make
Sometimes people need that.
I couldn't make my own decisions back then.
Yeah.
I needed assistance.
Thank you.
Right? And plus, I didn't know what I was doing and how to do it. You know? And then when I started coming back after Michael Lung started teaching me, yes, he was helping me and I was getting results. But the mentality that I was in when I was single then was, I'm doing this because I just want to look good for the opposite gender.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
Right? Now, looking back on that, I'm thinking to myself, what a foolish way to be going to that beautiful place to try and be better. I look back, I'm thinking, you're a fool for thinking like that. How can you be so foolish to do that, not for yourself, but to do that for them?
Yep.
When they haven't even, they haven't given you anything yet.
Have you seen videos out there, right? They show a girl a photo of someone that's jacked, ripped, full of muscle, and then they show the girls a photo of a guy that's chubby, you know, and he has a big build, you know, and like he's a little bit, you know, slightly chubby, you know, you can see that he looks cute still, like whatever it is, they always choose the chubbier guy. They never choose the jacked, ripped guy that, you know, has been in the gym for 10 years hoping that girls would like him more because of his body. Some girls do like that, right? Some girls do, but majority like the chubbier guy, the comfortable guy that they can rest their head on their fat stomach or something. I don't know. I don't know why they like it so much. Like, so really, what?
I think it's
statistically.
Is it a statistics thing, or is it just the individual woman that prefers that?
Statistically, most women prefer that.
The dad bod.
The dad bod. Yeah. Literally.
So
all these men working out in the gym are working out for no reason, really, because they're not going to get the result that they want.
But what about if you're working out for yourself? Because that's
what we're about to talk about, aren't we? Working out for yourself.
That's now, I went from, in the space of 2 years, working out to make myself look better for the opposite gender.
Yeah, and that always wears off.
It does. Because I realized...
You realize it's not working.
It's not working, yeah.
Yeah, so why are you training now?
It did work a little bit.
Yeah.
It did work because it was making me mentally tougher, and I was gaining more confidence.
Confidence there.
But
the physical aspect, you do not get anything out of it.
Yeah, because the mentality is wrong. That's why.
Yeah.
So it's wrong from the beginning. If you start it wrong from the beginning, it's never going to end up going exactly where you want it to be. Now I've started coming in last year again when I've started up again in June, July.
Yeah, you're a changed person.
Yeah.
You're a different person.
I came back in and I went, why would I have the mentality, or anyone have the mentality, to do all of this work that you are putting in your time and your energy in for someone else? Why? And I went, nah, I'm not going to do that for someone else. I'm going to do that for me and only me, because I want that. Nothing else.
Yep.
I want to be that. I want to get there. I want to keep on going in there and freaking sweat and be aching the next day
For myself.
and suffer. It's suffering in a way.
Yeah. Suffering.
It's painful.
To find the light on the other side, which is sharper mindset.
Yep.
A better way of living your life.
Yep.
Healthier way. And overall, you feel more productive.
Hell yeah. And my metabolism changed. I noticed, yeah.
Yeah, well,
my body was demanding more food.
Here's a little bit of knowledge for you guys. The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories you naturally burn throughout your day. Even us just sitting here right now, for the muscle that we've built on our body, we are burning calories.
By sweating.
Yeah. And literally talking right now is burning calories to a certain extent. So my body right now and your body, because of our consistent training, is like a furnace.
Yeah.
Just constantly burning off whatever fat we gain. Obviously, then if you eat enough, you're gonna hold on to some fat.
And don't jump on the beers.
And don't jump on the.
I jumped on the
Heinekens and the VBs.
I jumped on the beers on the Asahis during Christmas, New Year.
Yeah. We've been through it.
I've got to put a lot of work in just to get rid of that.
Exactly. Holiday season, gain a couple of kilos, it's fine. But as long as you get back into the gym and
I'm just like, got to get back into it.
100%.
Don't, because if you don't get back into it, man, it's pretty easy to drop off. You get all of these. This is my New Year's resolution. No, finish it. Yeah. I've got this New Year's resolution where I'm going to do this and this. And now I've just gone, did a new year come? It actually happened?
It is a new year.
It is a new year. I was like sitting, I was just like, a new year came. Oh,
it's been me every year for the last 8 years.
Like, well, I just want to do this. Training. I just want to stay in that same mentality. The mentality shouldn't change if the new year comes. The mentality, whatever mentality you had, if it was a good one, if it was a bad one, eliminate it. But if it was a good one, it doesn't matter at what time of that happens. As David Goggins says, just has to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make it happen.
There's no way about it. There's nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah. Make it happen.
It's something that everyone loves. They get a high on, it's a new year. All right, I better change. I guess this is the right time to change. But what changed from yesterday to today, New Year's Eve to New Year's Day? What changed?
The date has changed.
What's the difference between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's just
all perspective.
And not
how do you see each day?
Perspective.
And guess what? I've been doing personal training for 6 years now. I've been through 6 New Years. I've had influxes of people from January, February, March. Crazy amounts of clients in and out. Mostly out more than in, that are still going to today.
Shit.
People, the adrenaline of a new year, the rush that they get from, it's a new year, I better change. I've been meaning to do this. Wears off. And they realize they have no discipline to keep them going.
And where's that come back to? What I said in the beginning. You started off with the wrong idea. Wrong mentality.
100%.
And then that's where that just goes down the drain. Or as the Australians like to say, down the shitter.
It went down the shitter. But your perspective needs to change. New Year's isn't a day to change. It should be a day to realize I need to be better than what I was yesterday. As well, like, yes, you need a change, but it shouldn't be the turning point.
Yeah, no, it's not the turning point.
Once you realize you need to change, you change. You just act. You just do it. You don't wait for New Year's.
It's hard, eh?
Oh, the year's almost over anyway. I'll just keep, sitting on my ass and drinking my VB until New Year's comes, and then all right, I'll try to make a change then. Why not do it now?
I've seen so many new people already come in the gym in the last
So
couple of
many
days
new
that I went.
faces.
So many new faces, and I'm just like,
So many. Why
what's
didn't you start December 1st?
what's the
Why didn't
percent?
you start December 2nd
What's
or
the percentage of
August
chance?
5th?
It's like,
What is with you?
what's the percentage of chance, right? That out of 100% of people,
Mm.
out of all those people, what's the percent that they're
Just
gonna
stick to
fall
it.
off because they decided to start in the new year? Because that was the mentality that they went for.
I can't even think of someone that started in the new year and continued with me and are still with me
It's never
today
happened.
as a personal trainer and
So
a
we have
client.
now confirmed today,
I
everybody, that if you're gonna go down that route and you're gonna do that, it's not gonna work.
That timing, New Year's Day, might not be the best timing in your life to start something that you commit to and that takes a lot of time out of your current routine. It takes time slowly implementing this routine into your life. It's not going to happen just because it's New Year's. It might happen eventually if you keep at it from a certain day and it's always in the back of your mind and you're always trying. But it's not going to happen just because it's a new year. You'll eventually fall off and realize, shit, this is harder than I thought. I should have done some research on what this is going to be like and what I'm going to feel like, or listen to a podcast about starting out in the gym and how it's going to be, or do something to know what you're in for, because nothing is easy. You trying to make a change isn't going to be easy. Everyone thinks, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm on a high, I'm motivated, it's a new year, but it sometimes doesn't end up that way. By the time it comes March, April, May, they're already back to their old habits and they're not trying anymore. And I sort of run out of gas for them. Like, at me as a PT, I like to see people that are disciplined, not just motivated, but disciplined as well, and coming in on their own and not relying on me to train them and always show them how to do things. I enjoy seeing them while I'm training other clients in the gym, getting after it themselves, you know. So it's something that you need to be independent about, but seek some guidance as well to make sure you stick to it and know what you're in for.
There's a part of the brain, a special part of the
Here it
brain.
comes. You forgot
That,
the
no,
no anterior. It's also anterior.
there's a part of the brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
That's the way. You got it
Uh,
without stuttering.
Mr. Andrew Huberman.
Anterior Mid-Cingulate Cortex.
Yep. Cingulate cortex, yeah.
Cingulate. Cingulate.
You would think it's an S, but it's actually a C. Even
Yep.
that
Cingulate.
tripped me up.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Anyway, they did some research on it. And Huberman was, Andrew Huberman, the podcaster slash neuroscientist, was looking at the data, and he found that this part of your brain is what drives motivation, tenacity, willpower, mostly will.
Yep.
They found that
It grows a part of your brain.
They found that in fat people,
Yep.
that it's very small, almost inexistent.
Mm.
They found that in people that
Athletes.
are not athletes yet, but they're like people that are trying.
Yep.
So people that are still exercising, they're still giving it a go, or even people that are just, it's not even about that actually, it's more deeper than that. It's people who are actively doing things that they do not want to do. And so that the more that you do something that you do not want to do, this area of your brain will continue to grow. And you want it to grow because the more that you make it grow,
harder things are going to become easier.
Harder things will still be hard, but you will have the will to continue to want to progress. And I guess that's what Huberman was really talking about there. And that's why he brought it up on that podcast with David Goggins.
Yep.
Because he was saying that that's David Goggins in your brain. You want to grow that version of David Goggins in your brain. You want to make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So that you got that will to just continue trying, having the desire to keep on trying.
Do something hard every day.
Do something hard every single day, and your anterior mid-cingulate cortex will continue to grow, and you will continue to start seeing change in your life, and you will become more powerful than what you could ever imagine.
Yep.
And on that note, I guess I think we've probably come towards our end.
Yeah.
That's okay with you?
Yeah, we're almost at 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours. Come to our end. You yourself, you're on the verge of releasing a podcast yourself, aren't you?
Yes.
What's the name of your podcast?
The Product of Life podcast.
The Product of Life podcast.
Yes. And so me and my mate Vedran Janjetovic, some people might know him as the goalkeeper in the Western Sydney Wanderers.
And Sydney FC.
Previously. Me and him are starting that very soon. And it's just going to be everything to do with life, business, health, fitness, and everything on improving your life. In depth, making sure that people are prepared for, say if they're starting their New Year's resolution, for example, prepared for what's to come, what you're going to feel, how you're going to feel. There's a lot to go through in that subject. So we'll have some guests on, and like your podcast here today. So keep a lookout for that, guys, and make sure you listen to your podcasts, because you never know what gems you can find within them. Yeah.
It's more important than the news, I find.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people having real conversations that are actually wanting to put out a good message to people.
Yeah, and show people that they're not alone in whatever topic they decide to listen to. There's plenty of topics people speak on within podcasts, and it's good to hear people's opinions, because it might change your opinion as well on something that you've been meaning to do for a while, or in the media, what's best in terms of your decision making in a certain topic, or podcast is really starting to get popular now for that reason alone. People like me and you are getting an opinion now put out into the media of today. We're getting a say, instead of just celebrities or politicians being able to have a say, right? So if you've been listening up to this point,
you're a legend.
You're an absolute legend.
You're a legend.
Keep listening to your podcasts.
Yeah.
Because you're very intelligent.
So keep on listening to me.
Yeah.
If you like me, keep on listening to me. If you don't like me, then it is what it is. That's fine. That's fine by me, man. I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm.
Let's talk loco.
Let's talk loco is the name of this podcast. And if you don't know my name yet, because I don't think I even mentioned my name in the first one, my name is Michael Navarrete, and I'm going to continue to bring on people that have got a message to put out to society, that we got an opportunity to be better than what we were yesterday and today. And we can continue to strive in that way as a human race. And we will get better. In this really dark and harsh world that it is, we will get better. Every single day.
Be nice to people.
Be nice to people, yeah. Don't be a
nuisance to society.
Don't be a nuisance. Don't be like the Joker.
Yeah. Exactly right.
The Joker, by the Joker, I mean the actual Joker, the film, not just the person.
Don't be a joker.
Be a Joker when you want to, but don't be the Joker, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nuisance to society.
So the Product of Life.
The Product of Life podcast.
That's going to be releasing soon. Michael Uno and Vedran Janjetovic, they're going to be doing that together. And they're going to have some really good talks about life, business, and those are fitness, your goals as well.
Definitely tune in, guys.
Listen to that, and you'll definitely learn something new, I can guarantee. So on that, I guess we'll end.
Beautiful.
All good. Thank you very much for coming on, man.